And I kept thinking, is this really how it ends?
You know, he's 49 years old. You know, this is not supposed to happen.
One of my first questions was, are you going to be able to lift the sedation so I could say goodbye if I have to?
My kids need a dad. God, please.
Matt and I met at the University of Montevallo. I went to pharmacy school. He went to law school, both at Stanford. We've been married for 26 years.
We got married while we were still students and very, very poor and living off of student loans. 26 years later, we have 5 kids.
I always say he's the fancy cook and I'm the simple cook. And then we also enjoy hiking. He went over to a friend's farm, his friend Kevin.
There was a group of us guys decided we'd get together and we'd have a little camp out. We walked back probably close to a mile walk.
Felt a little bit of chest pain, and I had been for a couple of weeks feeling some chest pain, but it wasn't that big a deal. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Next day, we went on a walk. We love to walk around our neighborhood, and we went down the hill just outside of our house, got to the bottom, and started up a hill. And the chest pain became a little more intense. I remember looking over at Kimberly and saying, I can't do this. I got to go back.
I said, you've got to call the doctor. There's got to be something else going on.
Wednesday morning, I was getting ready to go and just felt an intense pain. It was so intense, and it was centered right in the middle of my chest. There was no question.
Well, I asked them, where are you taking him? And they told me, wherever you want to go, we'll take him. If I had said anywhere but Shelby, I don't think he'd be here right now.
I just got into work and I set my stuff down and I thought, something doesn't seem right in the department. Matt had just gotten to the ER. He was in cardiac arrest. He was in a very critical condition. Everybody was moving very quickly, but very efficiently.
We're now kind of against the clock to get into the cath lab. They are bringing him with the ventilator, the bed, they get him to our intensive care, and then our nurses come in and swarm.
That was the moment when I really just surrendered Matt to God, and I said, Lord, your will be done, not ours. You know what the results are going to be.
It's kind of miraculous because there's so many people involved. The doctors, the physicians, the surgery team.
He had a lot going on, but he's one of those miracle patients that comes in and we're happy to tell his story. We were able to take care of him.
3 days later on Easter, Matt's awake.
When I woke up, I knew everything was going to be okay.
I literally had to have a chair put under me. I was so happy in that moment.
I assumed there was going to be a journey ahead. I assumed there was going to be a lot of recovery ahead. But we were out of the woods.
He was in the hospital for about 3 weeks. A few months out, he's back to doing everything he wants to do.
This heart attack happened in mid-April. I returned to work at the end of May and have been working since. One of the things that I absolutely loved about Shelby, while I knew I was being prayed for by friends, by family, by others who'd heard about the situation, I knew that I was being prayed for by the folks at Shelby.
Sometimes it felt like all Jesus all the time, which is what we wanted in that moment.
The fact that we can share our faith and walk people through the hardest times of their lives is humbling that we can offer that kind of care to these patients.
My main thought is I'm so thankful that we have such excellent cardiac care so close to home. Thank God for Shelby Hospital.